who you are is wonderful. And at one point you were a little baby and you thought you were wonderful and you had no reason to think you weren't. And so what if we could just peel back all those layers of self-hatred and self-criticism that we've been taught and instead choose to think that we are perfect because we are our own. Hi. So long story short, I have mono and a UTI. Get you a girl who can do both. I also left my water over by my bed, so I need to go get that. You'll be okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel my best, but I spent, I think, anywhere between 6 and 8 hours on my computer today writing, and that felt so good until it didn't, until I was like, oh, my eyes are gonna fall out of my head if I look at a screen for a second more. But then I was sitting, I was laying, I wasn't sitting, I was laying in my bed. Oh, anyway, sorry, just one more thing, because I started a Substack, which I've already mentioned on here a couple times, but if you're into like the kind of topics that I talk about but you like reading, you should check out my Substack. I'll put the link in my bio. I don't know exactly how you search it up. Maybe if you just search my name, Grace Bragdon. Do you... But that's kind of the framework for where I'm filming from today. Okay, I'm hella sick. I feel really bad. I've missed 2 weeks of work. But I've been writing, and so, you know, maybe mono was the beginning of something really new for me, which was getting back into writing, because for the longest time I wasn't doing it because I was scared of failure. But anyway, I can make a whole video about that. But I was just recharging, laying in my bed. I was watching a crafting video because for some reason that kind of screen time felt different than the screen time of me writing on my computer and organizing my Substack and reading articles on Substack. But I was watching a crafting video and I was thinking about how good it feels to have made something that's your own, and how even if that thing isn't perfect, it still is perfect because it's yours. And I was thinking about my body, and my body is perfect because it's mine, okay? And I just wanted to share that sentiment with you guys. I was watching a video of this baby a few days ago. I love children. I wish someone in my life would just have a freaking baby, because I don't want to be the one to do it. And when I was at the doctor figuring out what's wrong with me, I did have to do a pregnancy test, and I was like, wait. Even though I constantly talk about wanting to have a baby, I did not mean to manifest this. But luckily it's just a UTI. So anyway, I do love babies. I would love to be like a kindergarten teacher. I would love to, like, I love kids. And I was watching this video of like a sensory kind of experiment that this mother was doing with her baby, where she took her baby out to the garden and she's like playing with the plants. She's like grabbing dirt and like dropping it on herself. She's splashing around in a bucket of water like with her hands, and it was just so cute. And this baby's sitting there and you can see her little precious belly, like, because you know how babies are kind of, babies and puppies are shaped like footballs, like they got that little paunch, and it's so cute. And I was watching that and I was thinking how amazing. She's just enjoying herself. She's not thinking about her belly. She's not thinking about if other people are thinking about her belly. They are, it's me, and I think it's super cute. She's not thinking about what she looks like or if she gets her outfit dirty in the mud. She's not worried about getting wet. She's just in the moment, having fun, exploring the world, and she has no reason to think that she's not absolutely wonderful exactly as she is. And she is. And I was wondering, because I've heard about, you know, people talking about how when you're a baby, you love yourself. You know, you don't learn to hate yourself until that's taught to you by society. And so I was like, what if we never learned to hate our bodies? What if we never learned to hate ourselves? And what if I could take that same mindset that I see in this baby and think is so precious and apply it to myself and think, my body's perfect because it's mine. My body's perfect because it's the one that I have, and it's the one that I go through the world in, and I don't need to be constantly thinking about what it looks like. I just want to be like that baby, living in the moment and exploring the world and being curious about things. Like I really just wish all kids would grow up feeling safe, feeling, you know, safe to be themselves, safe to be curious, safe to make mistakes, safe to learn and grow. And I just think we, you know, I can extend that also just to people. And why is it that when we reach a certain age, suddenly it's not natural to think of yourself positively? And so that's just something I wanted to share really quickly. It's a mindset shift that I'm trying to have, because there's so much that we can learn from children and from animals. I think about this all the time. Like, I love animals, for anyone who doesn't know me. And we have dogs, we have cats, we have horses, we have pigs, and I just love them. And I think the pigs are the most beautiful creatures in the world, and they're not worried about the fact that they have bellies and that they're a little chubby, because that's just what their body is like. They're supposed to look like that. My dogs aren't concerned that they're not acting ladylike, and they're not concerned that they're being too needy. They're not concerned about if they look pretty or not, or if their hair is out of place. They're just living as themselves, and they don't even have a concept of self. And I think there's so much we can learn from them. They're not worried at all. They're not self-conscious. That's what it is. It's the self-consciousness that babies and animals don't have. And how wonderful would it be if we could go back to having that same lack of self-consciousness? And so that's something that I'm going to try to bring with me into the future, because I just really liked that phrase of my body is perfect because it's mine. And so how could there be anything wrong with it? How could there be anything wrong with me if I'm just being the way I am? And I obviously don't mean like, oh, there can be nothing wrong with my behavior because it's just the way that I am, and so it doesn't matter that I keep harming the people in my life by not working on myself, whatever. I just mean, in the very basic sense, who you are is wonderful. And at one point you were a little baby and you thought you were wonderful, and you had no reason to think you weren't. And so what if we could just peel back all those layers of self-hatred and self-criticism that we've been taught, and instead choose to think that we are perfect because we are our own? So that's what I got for you today. I really need to force myself not to edit this today because I've been doing so much work on my computer lately. But I just had this thought and I had to share it, so I hope you find it relatable in some way and that it helps you, and that can be kind of a mindset shift for you. Okay, anyway, I'm getting back in my bed and continuing to watch my crafting video. Goodbye, love you.